What is good? It is the one and only Ronan the Traveler. And man, we're going to have a small little discussion today about the, travel bros or passport bros versus the plantation bros. So here's where I first got acquainted with this. Way back in 2006, I was riding home and NPR, don't get mad at me watching NPR. I wouldn't dare watch NPR now. I'd rather get pushed off a bridge. But NPR had a segment on there, say, Black men and sex tourism in Brazil. And Ed Gordon was interviewing this guy named William, I think Jelani Cobb or some stuff. I still remember his name. And I remember listening to this segment, and it wasn't nothing about 6-7 minutes. And I remember being so upset hearing how he saw black men that travel. He really, we weren't nothing. And then I wasn't even nowhere around a traveler. I was married and everything, but I listened to this. And what he said was, these men, he talked about many of them being older, were traveling overseas to sleep with younger women. He put this narrative like they were predators and the people were just poor and they were just taking advantage of them. So carry on down to now, 2023. This narrative still lives. The women are stupid in these foreign countries. They're not educated. They don't have nothing. You are a predator going to take advantage. That is plantation talk. And now, not only do women use this talking point, you got a lot of men, and the men even sound sassy. I'm talking about, how sassy do you have to be for a man to depolice, to get upset? Think about this. If you were any kind of man, really, you would be happy that we're leaving America. You would look at that and say, you know what? They're all gone. I got all the treasure for me. Unless that's not your main point. So that's how I'm looking at it, where that must not be your objective to get women, because you're fussing about us leaving the country like women are fussing. I can even understand women fussing about it. You don't know how many comments, as my channel starts to grow, I get so many comments from women, but I get even more from men. And the men say the same talking point. You could tell these guys were raised by their mothers. And when you start looking at the plantation buck, he is the guard of this toxic feminism. He's the guard, because she can't really do nothing. He is the guard. He will tell you, think about it. When you watch any of these things, and I can even understand dating coaches being upset, but some of them starting to change up. So I'm going to get off the dating coaches, because I'm even seeing some of them say, hey man, these guys leaving, and it's valid, because if you get married in the United States, 9 times 10, you're going to get that issue. You're going to lose a lot. I went through that. So I would tell any man, look, are they good women in the United States? Yes, but you're going to dig through some stuff, man. You're going to go do some sludge to find one, because that feminist element has creeped in, and it is very bad. Let me give you something. I got a story. So I go on Match.com, and this a while back, and I meet this chick. She was a doctor, well educated. She let me know every 5 minutes how many degrees she had, and I didn't care anything about it, but she felt like she had to tell me this. But for us being a woman, she was pretty good, man. She cooked, she did everything when she came home, but she had a son, and her son was only raised with her. She didn't know how I fit in that. And I'm coming in there and I see the boy. I'm dealing with him how I was raised. I was surrounded by men in my life, and I like, hey man, stop crying, stop whining. And she would stop me every time I would, man, what are you crying for, man? You too big, dude. And the boy was, I'm talking about, he was big. I was like, look, dude. I remember he fell off one of those little hoverboards, and he started crying like a little chicken. I was like, look, man, get up, wipe yourself off. Like my dad told me, you ain't got nothing to cry about. And she came downstairs and she was like, don't you ever tell my son anything like that. I'm like, what? Don't you ever let him express his emotions. Man, I put my beer down, got my car and drove off. Like I never talked to them again. That's the kind of guy I am. And we have to man up, man. Stop letting this is to the plantation bros. Stop letting your masters control you, man. Women are your masters. You need to get back into a leadership position. And if you don't agree with what we're doing, don't get involved with it, man. This is great. Go look at the hate that we get as being travelers. And all most of us push is the same thing like the late, great Charles Tyler. Charles Tyler preached that black man's option. Man, shout out to that group. And, shout out to the Passport Brothers. And definitely shout out to the Blue Book Cartel. We growing. I appreciate you, brothers, man. But Charles Tyler was one of the first dudes that I saw. And then, man, look. Salute to them brothers. But I want to say this. If any of you new brothers have never watched Frustrated, please go watch Frustrated. It is a wonderful, and it was showing how we were feeling. I remember I was married at the time when I watched that, and they captured exactly how I was feeling, man. You have options, and anybody that's trying to stop you from being happy and trying to stop you from living the best life you can is not your friend. They are an enemy. And this is why we lose as a community, man. Not just the black community, but a community of men, period. We don't work together, and it's full of haters. Look on YouTube. Look at your favorite YouTubers. Look what's going on, especially the black sector. All they do is talk about each other. How can you build anything like that, man? That's trash. So my whole reason for starting YouTube was to show the other side. Many people were just saying the women were prostitutes, and I have nothing wrong with prostitutes. I haven't got down with them. But all women are not prostitutes. All women, when you hear these people talking about women and stuff in these foreign countries, man, they're so wrong. The lady I'm with, she got degrees too. She's very smart. And other women I've dealt with had degrees. These people got their own houses. I would even argue some of these women in Dominican Republic do better than these chicks in America. Did you see that article it was showing all these women getting evicted with all these so-called degrees? So, man, that stuff is corny. But I want to talk to Plantation Brothers. Stop de-policing. If you don't have nothing good to say, leave it alone, man. And if haters gonna hate, when my father told me that a long time ago, I remember a dude in my neighborhood, and I think I mentioned another video. This guy tried to do something good for the community, man. He wanted to open up a pizza spot. He had game room in there, very nice. I would go there a lot, 1 or 2 more people, but it failed because the community did not support it. And I remember being very upset, talking to my father about it. And my dad said, man, anytime you do something right, people are going to hate on it. They're not going to like what you're doing. We have a crab in the barrel mentality. That's the first time I heard that mentality. And anybody black know that. We've heard that. And that's what you're dealing with right now. We're saying, hey, man, get out there, go see the world. You can go meet, you can find your wife. Like how I look at it, I said, look, go have your fun. You can find your wife after. That's what I believe. Now you got a whole different segment of men telling you something's wrong with you're weak, can't find a woman. Who want to be a place that they're not wanted? It ain't that people can't find wives in the United States. That's the easy part. But the hard part is getting out there with your stuff. A moment she tell you she not happy, you done lost everything, man. And I'm telling you, travel will give you that abundance mindset these dating coaches talk about. I've heard AMS and different people talk about it, but travel is going to really give it to you. That's what you need to do. So my message to anybody is to travel, find you a nice shorty, and live your life. And also spread the word. In order to fix America, we got to let it burn. Let it burn. Leave. Come over here to Dominican Republic. Go to Thailand, Mexico, Honduras, the Philippines, wherever you gotta go, and you will see these people slowly start to turn. Cause look, let me say this. I'm gonna tell you a simp tale a little bit. And I see the women doing this kind of with us right now. They saying, well, just leave passport, bro. Just leave. We don't care. Just go ahead. You didn't care, you wouldn't say nothing. I remember I had this chick I was simping for a little bit. She was thick. She would do something I don't like, and she would live with. I said, well, just leave. Go ahead. She'd grab her stuff and go, don't, baby, where you going? No, you ain't gotta go. I was just upset. That's what's happening right now. As men grab their stuff and going everywhere, they don't have to go, but you're seeing some. Please don't go. They don't have to go. You don't have to go. And you see those duck face ones, those real ugly ones. Oh yeah, let them go then. They ain't gonna go. You know, those big Shirleys. But we don't want them anyway, man. So that's all I wanted to say, man. Travel. Do not be a plantation, bro. You don't have nothing to hate on. Just sit down, man. Stop depolicing. And I'm out.